India joining us on the broadcast as well. Vikas ji, we are in a difficult conversation, sir. I am trying to be a lot more careful because there is limited publicly verifiable information available. But what do you understand of what is transpiring, sir? Okay. Okay, I believe there's an audio issue. We will get that sorted. Can we? Okay, let's get in Vivek Tankha. Vivek ji, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Let me just put the same thoughts and questions to you on this, because this has now happened. An advocate has now gone to the Delhi High Court. He has suggested that a certain amount of cash has been recovered by the fire brigade at the residence of a sitting judge. Who has the authority to inquire the veracity of this?
I'll tell you, the law as laid down by Supreme Court is that police cannot investigate against a judge directly. So the moment government must have got information about this cash haul through the fire brigade or the whoever personnel were there, they must have informed the Supreme Court. And I don't know what happened thereafter, whether Supreme Court gave them any permission to register a case, not register a case. Because without registering a case, you can't seize any property. Case property can only be seized once you register a case. So nobody is coming out with details, and this is what is shocking and surprising. We are told, I was told in the parliament by my friends that this incident is of 14th March. Now for 6 days, central government and the court, Supreme Court, did not come out with any statement or any public pronouncement about this case. It's through an investigative journalism that an article was published in a paper today. And that's how the world came to know about it. So it is shocking that the establishment is not taking the country into confidence about what happened, because it is also injustice to the person against whom allegations are being leveled. That whether what is being said is true or untrue, even that we don't know. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that should have happened was both government and the Supreme Court should have taken the country into confidence. And if this is the reason for his transfer, what is being stated so in the press and media, then it's all the more shocking and matter of great concern that transfer is not a remedy for such a thing. Suppose if it had happened in the house of a minister or a bureaucrat or an industrialist or anybody else for that matter, you think the press, media or anybody else would have spared him? Or then, they would have been hauled up immediately. So if what is being stated is correct and nothing is coming out in the open that what, how and what proceedings are afoot or were afoot, whether a case has been registered, whether the money has been seized, how much money has been seized. So this is a demand that we are making now. Both we will make this demand in the parliament and outside parliament. And Monday, we will certainly raise this in parliament again. Today, Jairam Rameshji raised it before with the chairman. We went and met the chairman also in this chamber. Everybody is concerned with what has happened, but nobody seems to have all the details. So we demand that the law minister must make a statement before the parliament with full facts and details about how this and what had happened, how this was discovered, what has happened thereafter. Has the money been seized, not seized, Panchnama prepared, not prepared, case registered, not registered, and any investigation happening, not happening. All these issues are public issues which cannot be brushed aside, and whether you do it today or you do it tomorrow, but you'll have to do it.
Okay, fair enough. Vivek Tankha, obviously it's having knowledge of what has taken place from a concerned authority who knows the facts will be reasonable. That's a reasonable request. But in a sense, being in possession of cash or having cash being spotted or seen or recovered in your residence, is that essentially then a crime? Because most people are advised to say, okay, don't do 50,000 rupees or less in cash transactions. When it comes to members of the judiciary, if indeed there was a large amount of cash. Can it be explained away? What care that should they be taking, even if they assume that they knew nothing of the money?
No, this is the law of the land. So anybody who violates the law of the land has to explain his conduct, his or her conduct. So first of all, we don't even know what was found. Even that has not been declared. I mean, it is 6 days, I believe now, from the date of the incident. There's no pronouncement from any end that what happened that day. Did they how much money was caught or recovered or seen? Was it seized, not seized? Was a panchnama prepared, not prepared? Has a case been registered, not registered? I mean, these are questions which we are all asking.
Okay, so what is the recourse available if indeed something like this has actually taken place and there was a large amount, and a large amount is of course subjective, so what is the specific amount we don't know. What is the recourse available to the person to say that I can verify the bona fides of this, or I am unaware of the bona fides of this?
I really can't say. Again, it depends upon how much is the money that is been seized. Nobody has coming out with details, and these details must have been known at least to two establishments. One is the government, and another is Supreme Court, because Supreme Court took up matter of his transfer post haste. So all these facts must have travelled to Supreme Court also, and government must have known it also. So government must have informed the Supreme Court. Now government is not coming out, Supreme Court is not coming out. So what do we believe?
Okay, so there is now. There is a need that the perception of this doesn't turn negative. How do you now suggest? You raise some demands, how should it be addressed?
In 2013-14, the UPA government had brought a bill for conduct and for conduct of judges. I'm forgetting the full title of the bill. And then that was allowed to lapse by Modi government because they were wanting to be on the right side of the court. They don't want to be on the right side of the people of India. They want to be on the right side of the court. So they allowed it to lapse as if judges' accountability is not an issue for them. I brought that bill as a member of, as an independent bill recently. On the day it was listed, I believe that day, for some reason, the second half, the parliament wasn't functioning, or we were not going there. So it was postponed. On the next date of when it was listed again for admission, this is a few weeks back, I got a letter from the Rajya Sabha Secretariat that this bill is being deleted because it has a financial content. So it's a finance bill, hence it cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha. I don't know how it's a finance bill which is about talking about judges' conduct. So somewhere I feel that the government itself is not keen to do anything to bring this thing under control. And government itself is not coming forward to bring a bill or an enactment to make judges accountable for their conduct and do it the way constitutional would provide or agree with. I'm not saying that give it to the executive. Maybe the committees will have to be of their peers. But the fact is that there has to be a scrutiny for everybody. Nobody is above law. I remember the famous words of Justice Yashwant Varma, howsoever high you may be, but the law is above you. So nobody can think in India whether you're a minister, whether you're a judge, you're a bureaucrat, you may be as powerful as you feel you are. But nobody is above law, everybody is.
All right. Okay, Vivek ji, to the best of your memory, has something like this ever happened where in a residence of a judge, potentially, allegedly, large amounts of cash have either been seen or recovered from?
Not that I would remember or know about. I don't recollect any judge being caught like this with a large haul of cash, because I don't even know whether what was the haul, how much was the haul, what was the cash amount. As I said, it's now 6 days. Nobody has come out with details. Neither the government is revealing details, nor the court has revealed details. And they are the only two establishments who would know something. Police would not have the guts to come and say anything on this issue. So it's very sad that in a country like India, which is a democratic country, which says that we have a rule of law, which says we have a parliament which debates all issues, which says we have an independent judiciary which can take anybody to task. But when it's their own peer who against whom a finger is being pointed, if there's a strange, airy silence.
Okay, but there is a concern that we open a Pandora's box here, and that Pandora's box goes in several directions. Some of them might have something to do with this case, some of them might not. When it comes to reputation, prestige, integrity, how do we prevent this from just spiraling out of control?
No, judiciary has to itself introspect. One, anybody indulging in such activities which we brand as corrupt activities, as they do with others, the same yardstick has to apply to their own peers. You can't deny bail to a politician and not take action against your own person. So as I said, we are in a great handicap that none of us even know the facts, because nobody is coming forward with these facts, neither the government nor the Supreme Court so far. And they are the only two establishments who would be privy to the facts.
Okay, fair enough. Vivek Tankha, thank you for joining us. Of course, senior advocate, he's been a former